Hello, I will be portraying Janet, the triage nurse. The night that I was part of Mrs. Romanov's care was an unusually busy day on the unit. The night was Friday, July 7th, and I had just come on shift for the night. There were several critical cases that all needed to be tended to alongside Mrs. Romanov's. I was feeling rather stressed and exasperated about the night that was ahead of me and was not looking forward to what it had in store. I was internally venting my frustrations so that they did not affect my patient care. When reading Mrs. Romanov's file, I noticed that there were some discrepancies that were worrisome. These included mismatches in the baby's gestational age, her charting suggesting that she was 38 weeks along, and her ultrasound suggesting that she was post-term at 42 weeks. After assessing Mrs. Romanov, I observed that her cervix was thick and closed, there was bloody show, the baby was not engaged, and contractions were irregular. Although communication was very difficult without an interpreter present, I was able to gather from Mr. and Mrs. Romanov that there was decreased fetal movement within the past few days. Upon learning this, I decided to look at the fetal heart monitoring strip to determine the health of the baby and the mother. When looking at the strip, I realized that the baby was experiencing decelerations. This was not a good sign and had me worried about the baby's well-being. I accidentally said the word decelerations out loud while reading the strip, which panicked Mr. Romanov at first. However, I made sure to explain what was happening and reassure them. At this time, I was interrupted by my colleague to inform me that another one of my patients needed to be seen urgently. I had to leave to take care of my other patients and trusted that Mrs. Romanov and her baby would be okay until my return. After tending to my other patients, it was decided that the Romanovs needed to be moved from triage to labor and delivery. I moved the Romanovs to labor and delivery and gave a quick report to Betty, the labor and delivery nurse, that was taking over Mrs. Romanov's care. Although Betty was asking for a lunch break, I was emergently pulled away by another nurse and was not able to fulfill her request. After this, I handed off Mrs. Romanov to the labor and delivery unit, and that was the end of my care of Mrs. Romanov for the evening. Thank you.